Imagine facing a choice where your life is the only thing standing between your people and their destruction. Would you surrender your own future to save them, or would you seek another way, risking everyone's lives? In today's video, we're diving into the incredible true story of a queen who faced just that. A queen whose bravery and sacrifice changed the course of history forever. This is more than just a story, it's a journey into what true courage really means. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a story from City on a Mountain. Now let's get started. A kingdom on the brink of collapse. Our story begins in a kingdom high in the mountains, surrounded by snow-capped peaks. This was once a place of joy, prosperity, and peace. The people lived simple, content lives under the rule of Queen Seraphina, a monarch known for her wisdom and kindness. But as fate would have it, no kingdom remains untouched by tragedy forever. One winter, a mysterious illness began sweeping through the kingdom. It came without warning and spread like wildfire, striking down men, women, and children alike. The once bustling streets of the capital were now silent, save for the echoing cries of the sick and dying. The royal palace itself became a refuge for the grieving families. Queen Seraphina watched helplessly as the disease ravaged her kingdom. Physicians from across the land tried and failed to find a cure. The brightest minds of the kingdom searched day and night for a solution, but to no avail. The people were losing hope, and soon whispers began to spread that perhaps even their beloved queen was powerless to save them, a visitor from the shadows. Just when all seemed lost, something unexpected happened. One cold, stormy night, a visitor arrived at the palace. He was cloaked in darkness, and his presence seemed to drain the warmth from the air. The guards hesitated to let him pass, but it was as if he simply glided through the walls. The visitor demanded an audience with Queen Seraphina. The queen, though wary, agreed to meet with him. In the dimly lit throne room, the figure revealed himself to be none other than Death incarnate. He had come not to destroy, but to offer a solution. He told Seraphina that he alone held the cure to the plague devastating her people. But of course, his offer came with a terrible price. Death's demand was simple yet horrifying. In exchange for the cure, the queen must give up her life. Her people would be saved, but Seraphina herself would have to die. There was no room for negotiation, no second chances. Death's deal was final. Imagine yourself in Queen Seraphina's position for just a moment. What would you do? Would you accept your fate and save your people? Or would you search for another way, knowing that every moment of hesitation cost more lives? The Queen's dilemma. The decision weighed heavily on Seraphina's heart. Her advisors were deeply divided. Some begged her to reject Death's deal, convinced that a cure could still be found. Others, desperate to save their families, urged her to accept, believing that the sacrifice of one life, even hers, was worth the lives of thousands. Seraphina was no ordinary queen. She had always ruled with a deep love for her people, and the thought of watching them die while she sat safely in her palace was unbearable. After days of reflection, prayer, and sleepless nights, she made her decision. She summoned Death once more and agreed to the bargain. She would give her life for the cure to the plague. But Seraphina, wise and cunning as she was, had one final request: a week to prepare. Seraphina asked Death for 7 more days. 7 days to say goodbye to her people, to ensure the cure was working, and to put her affairs in order. Death, intrigued by her courage and calm resolve, agreed to this final request. He would return on the 7th day to claim her life. But unknown to Death, Seraphina had a secret plan. During her week of preparation, she sought out the kingdom's oldest and wisest scholars, for there was an ancient legend that had been passed down through generations. It spoke of a way to cheat death, a way to outwit the Grim Reaper himself. The queen knew that this was her final chance. If there was even the slightest possibility that the legend was true, she had to try. Time was running out, and so Seraphina embarked on a secret mission, a race against time to save her people and herself. A legendary gamble. The legend told of a talisman hidden deep within the mountains. It was said to possess the power to challenge death, but it came with a heavy cost. Only someone with a heart pure of intention and a willingness to sacrifice everything could wield its power. On the 6th day, just as the sun was setting behind the snowy peaks, Seraphina found what she had been searching for. The talisman was no larger than a coin, yet it pulsed with an ancient energy. Holding it in her hands, she could feel the weight of centuries of lost souls, those who had failed to defy death's grip. She had one last chance. As the final day dawned, Seraphina returned to her palace. The cure had already begun working, and her people were slowly recovering. But her time had come. Death arrived just as he promised, ready to claim her soul. Yet Seraphina was not afraid. She stood before him, talisman in hand, and invoked the ancient words of the legend. The winds howled, and the sky darkened. Death watched in silence as the queen channeled the power of the talisman. But what happened next was unexpected even for him, the triumph of a brave heart. As Seraphina completed the ritual, the talisman began to glow with a blinding light. The air crackled with energy, and for the first time in centuries, Death hesitated. He could feel something he had never felt before: uncertainty. Seraphina's courage, her unshakable love for her people, and her willingness to give up her life stirred something deep within Death. He realized that this queen was unlike anyone he had ever encountered. Her bravery, selflessness, and resolve were more powerful than the talisman itself. In a rare moment of grace, Death made a decision that changed the course of history. He chose to spare her life. Death declared that no ruler who loved her people so deeply should be punished for her devotion. With a wave of his hand, he disappeared into the shadows, leaving Queen Seraphina to live and reign, a legacy of unmatched courage. Queen Seraphina's story became legend, told for generations across her kingdom and beyond. Her people flourished under her continued rule, and the memory of her sacrifice inspired countless others to live with courage and compassion. Seraphina taught her people that true bravery isn't about never feeling fear. It's about facing it head on, even when the stakes are impossibly high. Her legacy endures as a reminder that the greatest leaders are those willing to put everything on the line for the ones they love. If this story of Queen Seraphina inspired you, be sure to subscribe to City on a Mountain for more incredible tales of bravery, resilience, and untold history. We explore the lessons that legends like Seraphina teach us and how they can shape our world today. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And here's a question for you. Would you have made the same choice as Queen Seraphina? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.